Hello, everyone. Welcome to 1851 Franchise. Today, I am joined by one of our young ones to watch, Chrissy Redd. Chrissy, how are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. Thank you for taking the time to talk to us today.
No problem. This
Um,
sounds like fun.
yeah, I'm excited to hear about your story. Maybe to start, could you give us a little intro, kind of about yourself and what company you're with and your role in that company?
Sure. I'm Chrissy Redd. I'm the Director of Brand Development for Strategic Franchising.
Awesome, love it. Um, so tell me, how did you originally get into the world of franchising?
So it's kind of a fun story. Originally, I was doing government work, and it became a little exhausting. But I always had a passion for business ownership. And I first entered the franchising world on the car manufacturing side, working in financial services and specifically running the marketing for financial services. And after that, I moved on to a strategic brand, Caring Transitions. And I made that switch because I was really passionate about helping business owners learn more about marketing. And specifically, that brand had an amazing story that connected with community really well. Anytime a brand can connect with the local community and helping like the senior population, the way that Caring Transitions and many of our other brands do, it's always exciting.
Yeah, I love that. Very well said. That's great. Um, how old were you when you first started in franchising, and I guess what were some of the lessons you learned when you first started? Were there any big challenges you faced early on?
So the so the biggest challenges I think I faced were um, people realizing that I was young and sometimes equating being young with not having a full understanding of business leadership. But they didn't know that I was already teaching marketing on a collegiate level at that point. And when I did start, I was in my 20s. And it was a bit startling for some people. And I will admit, a little bit intimidating for me as well, because a lot of the business owners were established in encore careers, had amazing careers for decades, and I had not even been in the franchise community for 10 years or anything at that point, and still have not at this point. But it was very interesting, kind of the dynamic of convincing people that you had their best interest in mind and that you weren't too young to help them, especially when it came to social media and marketing planning and strategy.
Yeah, yeah, great point. Um, I guess building off that a little bit, so now jumping to today, what's a milestone or accomplishment that you're most proud of in terms of your career so far in franchising?
It would probably be the position I'm in now as director of brand development. So, having been with strategic franchising for over 5 years now, it was really exciting to have people recognize the work that you did to get to this point. So I feel like this has been an extremely wonderful opportunity to combine all the experiences that I've had with the brands in house so far and really get the chance to expand each brand by bringing in the right kind of candidates that we actually needed in house. So it really has been an exciting moment. Absolutely amazing to be able to bring in or usher in new ideas and try new things, new partnerships that we found to be very effective.
Yeah. Speaking of those, bringing in the right people, what would you say makes someone a good fit for the franchise industry? Are there any traits that are kind of shared by the most successful franchise professionals that could be franchisees or franchisors?
I really think the to take the limits off is really the biggest trait to have, and to understand that you need to be ready for change at all times. The one thing about franchising is there's a very short window to know what you need to do and how you need to pivot. But when you see that something isn't working, don't take that personally. Take a look at it, brainstorm, figure out what a better solution is, and attack that. And I think that's really a trait that um, everyone should have probably in any industry, just understanding that when something doesn't go well, um, that you need to study it, and even when things go well, to study those as well, and to make sure that you use that research as part of your plan for the future.
That's great advice. That's great. Speaking of plans for the future, we talked about milestones that you've already accomplished. What are some of the goals you're currently working towards in your role right now?
So right now I'm working towards making each brand more welcoming for future prospects. And a lot of times when people think digital, they think quick digital storytelling. And sometimes people assume that digital means that something needs to be impersonal, but it doesn't. It does not have to be impersonal. Um, to me, it's an opportunity to do storytelling the right way and to really help people connect the humanity of us all with a common cause. And I think that's what excellent marketing does. That's what excellent branding does. It connects you emotionally. It wins over the heart and the mind of a person. And to me, that makes effective marketing. It does not have to be impersonal. It does not have to be cold. It can be very warm. It can be something that anyone can connect with, especially if they're connecting around a common cause.
Mm, very well said. That's great. Well, the last question I have here, we touched on some advice earlier, some great advice that you gave. Do you have any other advice that you would give young up and comers in the franchising space, whether it be people who are maybe looking for a corporate role like yourself or people who might want to be franchisees for the first time? Do you have any advice?
Don't be afraid to be the first one in the room, especially when it comes to women and people who are diverse. Sometimes you may not see a reflection of yourself in the role, but don't allow that to limit where you want to go and what you want to do. Don't be afraid to be a trailblazer and to hone in on the skills and the assets that you have to offer, and know that someone will see that and recognize that, and be ready to take advantage of it when they have the opportunity.
Oh, I love that. What a great way to end it. That's so great. Um, Amazing, Chrissy. Well, thank you so much. We're so happy to feature you, and we're so glad you took the time to talk with us and share your story and advice today. This was great.
Thank you so much. It was great meeting you and spending time with you too.
Yeah.